Welcome everybody to this mediation process. This is Major Stress. I think you've probably spoken to him on the phone, Donna Panic, and I see you both brought your counsel. We've spoken, Spencer, your counsel for Donna, is that correct? And David, your counsel for Major Stress. Excellent. Good. Well, I'm very pleased that you've all agreed to this process, which is a magical process. It has great prospects of success, great rates of success, and we hope that at the end of the day we will find a way forward through this dispute. It's entirely confidential. Everything that is said here is what we call without prejudice, intended to create open and informal and candid exchanges of views. And the whole idea is that the courts don't want people to feel that they are being watched, noted, things taken down in writing and maybe used in evidence against them. Really, that convention is strongly upheld by the courts. Judges will not allow people to say, well, in mediation last month you said such and such. Of course that will only happen if, sadly, we don't reach a settlement today. But as I say, 85% or more of mediations succeed, even where negotiations have failed. So I'm here not as a judge or an arbitrator. I'm simply here as a facilitator. I'm simply here to help the two sides try and reach an amicable settlement. It doesn't matter to me who is right, who is wrong. It doesn't matter who has got a strong case, who's got a weak case. All that matters to me is how you perceive the matters and how we can reach a position whereby you can all go away saying, okay, that's good enough for me, and find an end to this unfortunate dispute. So what will happen is that, as I think I outlined to you before, I will ask each of you to say a few words to each other rather than to me. This is your opportunity, possibly the last opportunity, to persuade each other of the strengths and weaknesses of your case. But if, as may inevitably occur, you don't manage to persuade each other of your respective cases, we will then move forward and try and find simply a formula whereby we can move ahead and out of this dispute. So, Donna and Major Stress, Donna, as you're the person bringing the claim, it's traditional for the claimant to start, so I'll ask you to say a few words.
Okay, well, we're here today, as we all know, because we've had a factory under construction for a year, and have employed architects who did a fantastic job, except for this one aspect. And now, at this late date, we have a floor that is cracked. It's actually coming up from the foundations. It's totally unusable. We can't use it as a workspace. We don't know what to do with ourselves. So, obviously, we went to the law to find out what our rights were and what their obligations are, and that's what we're here to settle today, hopefully as quickly as possible. So I'll leave it to my lawyer to say anything further.
Yes, we see this as being an open and shut case. The floor doesn't come up to its specification. It is not fit for its purpose, and that is the direct result of the other side's negligence in the way that it's been laid. We've been put to considerable expense, over 200,000, and we are looking for recompense for that.
Thank you very much. So, Major Stress.
What we provided you is the best possible floor for the purpose. It's a superb floor, hard-wearing, handsome, good-looking. If it had been properly laid and properly looked after in the initial stages, if it had been dressed the way it should have been, we gave clear instructions about that, then you would have everything you want. Now, it's not our fault that that hasn't happened. We weren't responsible for the dressing, that was you, and it wasn't done properly. Well, we don't have anything like £200,000. We wouldn't be able to meet a claim of that scale. This is a new product, we're not a big company, we're expanding and we need to prove that the system works, the new flooring system works, and if we had a claim of this scale, that we would simply not be able to carry on in business. That said, we know how to put it right. Now, you know, there's some time and effort to be expended in that, but we could put it right.
For how long? Then how long would that one last?
Oh, well, permanently. Once it's properly laid, then the whole point is it is the longest lasting and most hard-wearing flooring that you can have. But it's, you know, if you develop something like this, and you know, I've been responsible for developing this, and it's got to be done properly at the first stage. If you want something that's really going to last a long time, it stands to reason it's got to be very carefully and properly installed and cared for in the early stages. And you know, I'm sorry, it hasn't been, and that's not our fault, any responsibility of ours. We can do the installing. We designed it and we provided it. The installation was done by somebody else. And the architects who employed it, they know that it is the best available flooring for your purposes. It just hasn't been properly done. But we want to try and help it be put right.
It's not suited for any purpose at this moment.
Right.
And it's already costed.
Anyway, sorry, I've probably said too much.
I can understand that this is a very emotional situation. Both of you are eager to get this resolved, and I can see that there is already some common ground in the sense that both would like this resolved in one way or another. So,
if I may just interrupt myself, I was astonished to hear Mr. Hilliard say at the beginning this was an open and shut case. He's an experienced barrister, surely he knows there isn't such a thing. But furthermore, if the instructions had been followed to the letter as to how to look after this floor, it would be a perfect floor. We laid it properly. We gave instructions through the architects as to how to treat it thereafter. Had it been treated, then there would be no case. So, that being said, we are keen to try and settle the matter. But I think it doesn't help if the other side are presenting a case which is open and shut. And one has to wonder if that's their view, why they're here at mediation at all.
thank you. Do either of you want to say a few more words and come back at each other in any way?
Not at this point. I'm not terribly hopeful about how things might go today, but we'll hear and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I think that's been very constructive and very helpful. I think we've had a good exchange of views. What we will do now is to separate. You will go back to your